So I started with softball and soccer when I was young. And then when I was 12, in junior high, I started track and field, and I found discus, and I fell in love with it. It's such a random thing to get obsessed with, but I loved it. So I was a thrower all the way from 12 to 24. I went all the way through high school and college as a competitive thrower. Went to Utah State, actually.
You were here in Logan?
I was, yep.
Small world, right?
Yeah, so I threw discus and hammer and shot at Utah State. And my plan was, like a lot of athletes, I wanted to be an athlete the rest of my life. I wanted to be a pro. And so I was looking at, Olympics, or like moving to Europe to continue to compete and stuff. Like, it was totally my life. And my last year of my degree, so I got my master's degree because I was planning on going into coaching. And so that year I was doing my coaching internship. I was in charge of my own group of athletes that I was coaching. I was finishing my master's degree. I had to write my thesis. I was trying to train myself, plus I was a GA, so I was teaching 5 classes as well. And my training just went down the tank. And so I got really invested in my athletes. I decided to step back from my own training and put what I had into them. And I got really invested, and I loved the sport so much and gave so much to it. And so it was a really, really hard to decide to step back at that point. When I graduated, that was kind of a life-altering moment. I had dedicated myself to that sport. Like, my identity was my identity as an athlete. That's how I measured my self-worth, my satisfaction, my fulfillment was all tied to how I competed and how my training session went that day. I'd be in classes and like daydreaming about practice. Like, I didn't drink, I didn't party. I was in bed by 10 every night, like, because it was going to affect my training. Like, I was that kid. It was like, nobody cared. Like, even as a coach, as I was staying there, is like, it's such a business that I saw they don't care as much about the athlete. As soon as you're gone, you've got a replacement. It's like you weren't there. But that really broke my heart, seeing it. Like, I was trying so hard and invested in their success, but then seeing what was happening on the back end. So I decided to move away from coaching. I gave up on that as a career.